just let yourself go.
Just focusing upon your head.
Hypnotherapy is used by over 500,000 people in Britain.
Just imagine your eyelids becoming heavy.
It's claimed it can make you thinner.
Don't smoke.
Stop you smoking.
You just go deep and deep.
Do almost anything. Accessing the powers of your unconscious mind to increase the size and shape of your breasts. Marvellous. I set out to explore hypnotherapy. I've seen hypnosis in action. But can it really make us do anything? Should I believe what I see? Could it affect our health and behaviour? I've watched people as they set out with huge hopes, putting more trust in it than I could have imagined.
Everything is being peeled off.
It's not something I ever thought I'd try. This is my journey. This is me, Kathy Sykes, Professor of Sciences and Society at the University of Bristol. I've always found the idea of being hypnotised spooky, and to be honest, I didn't really know what it was. You hear that it involves our unconscious mind, whatever that is, and exposes hidden layers. What might a hypnotist find lurking beneath my surface? There's the Kathy Sykes that the world sees, and then there's a private Kathy Sykes that many fewer people see. And then there's layers of Kathy that, you know, I gradually get to find out about as I get older. And, you know, I think it's a life's work finding out who you are. And so the whole idea that, you know, somebody might be able to reach parts of you that you can barely reach yourself, you know, you wouldn't want an audience. In my work, I have to spend a lot of time being in control, so it's not something I hand over lightly. You know, I love dangerous sports and doing them in quite edgy ways. I like risk, but that's kind of playing with control a bit. The whole idea of one other person having control over me, what I'm doing, well, I'm not all that keen to try, really. I'm actually hoping I don't have to.
Hey. Okay, we're going to start with this pretty blonde here. Madam, in a moment, I'll click my fingers twice, you'll stand up, you'll have this wonderful relaxed feeling, and you take off all your clothes.
I wanted to start my investigation into hypnotherapy by looking at the one thing I am familiar with, stage hypnosis. I'd had a glimpse when I was a student, and now, as a slightly more sober adult, it made sense to start here. I don't know what to expect tonight. I'm hoping to be entertained. It'd be interesting to see if it has any sort of effect on me, maybe.
I don't know what you're laughing at, because in a moment I'll clip my fingers 3 times and you'll have diarrhea.
Oh, there's some there. There's posters everywhere for Michael McCoy. Comedy show, hypnotist. Great.
I will ask for volunteers, but I will ask for volunteers with no morals and no values to join me here on the stage, right?
And would you like to go up?
I would and I wouldn't. I don't believe you can be hypnotised.
And I firmly believe.
Yeah, and you want to get up.
And I want to prove to me that someone can take over your mind. I want to be hypnotised, but I'm a bit anxious as to what they'll get me to do.
And what would you like not to do?
I'm not going to tell you because you'll get him to do it.
No, I don't know him. I've never met him before.
And now, my friends, just concentrate. Concentrate now as you listen to the music. Focusing on my voice. On the count of 1 now. Squeeze your hands tighter and tighter and tighter. Squeeze your hands tighter. Make the good connection.
The way it seemed to work, the hypnotist invited them on stage, asked them to clench their hands, and then slowly counted them into a sort of trance.
Squeeze your hands tighter and tighter and tighter. And the count of 6 now. Say it to yourself. My hands are locking. My hands are locking. Shake your hands. Shake your hands. Shaking, shaking, shaking. 16, 17, 18. And on the next count, if your hands are shaking, they will continue to shake until I release you. 19, 20.
After 30 minutes, the effects seemed to be dramatic.
We're going to go by motorbike. 3, 2, 1. Rev up your motorbike with your eyes closed. Going around a corner now.
They seem to be following his every suggestion, no matter how crazy.
Watch out for the bunny rabbit. Oh, it's really going for it now. Big finish here. Big finish.
It was hilarious to watch, but I wasn't sure I actually believed it. Were they just putting it on?
Give them all a big cheer as they make away.
That looked like an awful lot of fun. The thing that really surprised me, it seemed as though people just had no inhibitions. And that's why, part of me thinks, well, they just wanted to perform anyhow. You're saying there's something more profound going on.
No, definitely. I mean...
Persuade me.
Everyone on stage wouldn't be on stage if they weren't a performer, simply because, first and foremost, it's an entertainment show. So we've got to entertain the audience. But that doesn't take away from the fact that anyone on stage isn't hypnotised. They're totally hypnotised. But you cannot make somebody do anything against their own will.
So you can't force me to do something I really don't want to do?
No.
Okay.
Through the years of experience, it is easier for me now to gauge the people that want to be hypnotised.
And did I strike you as somebody who wants to be hypnotised?
Yes.
Being in the audience was deeply entertaining. I didn't find myself wanting actually to be up there, although there is a part of me that's wanting to know how easily could I be hypnotised. Thinking about it, the thing that's puzzling me is how could something that seems to be about having a good night out have anything to do with health issues? Because hypnosis is what hypnotherapists use, and hypnotherapy is big business. Let's see. The NHS spend £5 million a year, private users 34 million. Aggressiveness, anxiety, pain control. Improve your sport from bodybuilding to golf. Breast enlargement and reduction. The number of conditions it's supposed to treat is huge. Fear of success, fear of failure, fear of heights, fear of crowds, allergies, asthma, high blood pressure, migraines, improving memory, making decisions. I wonder if it's got anything about packing a bit less. A list like this seems just too good to be true. I wanted to see some actual hypnotherapy.
Today's the day that I'm going to stop smoking. I'm going to be hypnotised and hopefully just never want to smoke again.
In Birmingham, West Midlands Police Force had just started providing hypnotherapy for the officers. With the national smoking ban just 4 days away, Constable Richard Beaumont was one of 150 prepared to risk being teased by his colleagues.
Everybody said I'm going to be hypnotised and get a shout to go to a job, and I'll end up stripping off naked in the car and squawking like a chicken, that sort of thing.
A relaxation and calm flowing from the base of your spine, up over your lower back and upper back and shoulders. That's right. You feel
What's happening here is a world away from a stage show.
Over your buttocks and thighs, your knees and calves.
For the first 30 minutes, the therapist worked on the hypnotic induction, achieving the relaxed, trance-like state.
Going down and deeper and further, just like going down 10 steps into relaxation and rest.
Then he started to make a series of powerful suggestions.
And now I want you to think of what would be the worst outcome of continuing to smoke. Who that would affect, the devastation it would cause. Perhaps you could imagine that person or persons stood by your grave, and ask yourself who's responsible. I want you to hold that there for a moment, Richard. Freeze it and then store it away. And then I want you to think of a positive statement that lets you know you don't smoke. And I want you to say that out loud.
I don't smoke.
Well done.
After about an hour, very gently, Richard was brought round.
Start to move your fingers and hands and toes and feet. And in your own time, you can open your eyes at 2:45 on the 27th of June 2007. How do you feel?
I don't want to fag,
Okay.
which I did before.
Okay. What does that feel like, kind of being able to say that?
It's weird.
Feels new?
It's the first, yeah, it's the first time. Since I was a teenager, so yeah.
Okay, good.
Just one session was supposed to be enough. But would Richard really stop smoking? We'd follow this up. Next, I went to see another therapist at work, treating a behaviour millions of us want to change.
Can you just put a hand together for Elliot Wall, please?
This demonstration was designed to introduce Elliot Ward's 2-day seminars. But if you were called up on stage, the one session might be all you needed.
Well, good evening. So tell me, who wants to lose weight? Tonight I'm going to show you some things about how you can make changes in your life.
After an hour talking about eating habits, he told us to hold out our hands and clench them tightly. It turns out that this is a way of testing who might respond best to hypnosis.
Look down at your 2 fingers, and as you look down at them, I want you to imagine a vice. I want you to imagine a vice becoming tighter and tighter, tighter and tighter. There you go, isn't that weird? Tighter and tighter the whole time. Isn't that strange? Does anybody here not want to eat chocolate anymore? Would you like to come up here? Yeah. Have a seat. Okay. Just give me a hand. Okay. So all I want you to do is just look into my eyes. Just notice the change in focus. That's right. Just imagine.
Again, I saw a hypnotic induction to achieve a relaxed, trance-like state.
Deep.
And then a series of powerful suggestions.
Deeper and deeper relaxed. Good. Is there something that you really dislike eating? What is it?
Corned beef.
Corned beef. Ugh. Horrid. And like, if I was stuffing your mouth full of corned beef now, what would that be like for you?
I'd urge.
You'd urge. You'd mean you'd be sick?
Yeah.
Really heaving?
Yeah.
I don't know if you've ever been sick and you swallowed it. That's quite unpleasant too, right? So like this chocolate thing that you used to have, I want you to imagine starting to eat some chocolate now. And I want you to start smelling the chocolate and munching it, but as you do, I want you to start mixing it with the corned beef. That's right, each mouthful is like corned beef for you. And as you swallow it down with the corned beef...
He encouraged her to make this grisly association over and over again.
Sickly. Have some more chocolate, because that used to be nice for you. What's that like now?
It's taste of corned beef.
Taste of corned beef. And on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being you really want chocolate and 1 being you don't want it at all, what number does it represent for you?
Oh, I don't want it at all.
Are you sure you don't want any more?
No.
Excellent. So just come back and relax. Just open your eyes. Feel all right?
Yeah.
Excellent.
Okay.
Good. So on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being you don't want chocolate at all, what number do you represent now?
1, I don't want it.
What, you don't want it at all?
I don't want it.
You sure?
I am sure.
Dairy milk. I mean, what's that like?
No, I don't even want to smell it.
You sure?
Do you know, just smelling it, it's sticking out. I can feel it around my mouth. Thank you so much.
You okay?
Thank you very, very, very much.
My pleasure.
Can I ask you a couple of questions
Yes,
about that? It looks so surprising. It looks so amazing. You're kind of thinking, is that really happening?
Do you know what? That's what I've always thought. That is exactly what I've always thought. And yes, it was. I just felt so relaxed, and I could hear myself sort of deep breathing, like I would be when I was asleep. But I could hear everything going on. I could feel his touch on my arm. I can't explain it. It's just tranced. It worked.
And are you going to eat chocolate again?
No.
You're sure?
I feel positive, yes. I really do feel positive. And the big telltale will be when I go home.
The trance thing is a bit weird. It happened so quickly. That's the thing that's remarkable. But Nicola did seem genuinely affected. So what is this trance thing? Is it some special state of consciousness? Is it even for real? What do scientists make of it? The really weird thing for me watching all of that was when the people went into that trance state and they just seemed to go from sitting normally to being in a completely different zone. But the scientists just don't agree about it. Some say it's a special state and others say it isn't. Some say the trance stuff doesn't matter anyway. It's all down to the power of suggestion. Frankly, I don't know what to think. I've come to Italy to meet a psychologist who has a thorough knowledge of the experiments looking into trance and suggestion. He's been working in a lab in Modena. From your perspective, how much do you think is kind of a component of suggestion, and how much is it necessary to be in that trance?
Well, that's one of the exciting things. That's been a big debate, an exciting area over the last 50 years. And here's what we seem to know about it. Most of the people that can respond to suggestion in hypnosis usually report that they can respond to it also outside of hypnosis. And this has been the dilemma. What is the role of hypnosis? Is there a hypnotic state at all? Maybe there isn't.
Irving's experience has led him to doubt that trance plays a significant role. But he does believe there's a small proportion of people who are highly responsive to suggestion. What's been your experience of people who are highly suggestible?
They're not gullible. They are intelligent. This is a person with a talent. It's a talent to change their experience, and sometimes to change their experience in very profound ways.
It was a seductive idea. I asked Irving what it might be like to be one of those highly suggestible people.
You can hear the people talking in the background there. Maybe you don't want to hear them talking.
No, I don't. You can get rid of them.
Block them off. Just block them off. If you have that capacity, you can do that. How do you feel about the temperature? Is it warm, cold?
It's getting quite warm now.
You could feel cooler.
We could have a breeze.
You could have a breeze if you like. We could decide, for example, that this building in front of us is actually a modern building. We could have it look like that. We could change the color of it.
Could we have the Guggenheim?
Sure, we could have the Guggenheim. Anything you like, we could change the color of it. We could make it a grey building. We could make it...
Irving has been working with some of these suggestible people as part of an experiment. Just about to get to meet one of these highly suggestible people and get to see what's happening in his brain, which is kind of amazing. His name was Pelham.
I'm going to ask you to do this twice. First time I'll ask you to do it in hypnosis. Okay? All set?
Yeah.
Good. Let's begin then.
To demonstrate the theory that people can respond to suggestion alone, without the trance, first Irving hypnotized Pelham and then suggested to him that he could add colour to a black and white picture.
Okay. Open your eyes now. Look at the screen. Just see it as it is in shades of grey. Please don't try adding color to it until I ask you to do so. Now begin adding color to the pattern. Add color to it until you see it in full color, as if you were looking at a fully colored pattern. And let me know when you've succeeded in doing that by raising the index finger of your right hand. Good. How much color do you see now from 0, being no color at all, to 100%, which would mean full color?
85.
85%. Good. I'm going to bring you out of hypnosis now. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Open your eyes. 0. Okay, good. Feeling wide awake now?
Yes.
Normal wide awake state?
As normal as I get, yes.
Good.
Then, once Pelham was completely alert, with no hypnosis, Irving suggested to Pelham that he could do the same thing again.
Look at the pattern, see it as it actually is, in shades of gray. Don't add color to it until I ask you to do so. Now begin adding color to it. Add color to it so that you actually see it in full color, and let me know when you've succeeded in doing that by lifting the index finger of your right hand. Good. How much color do you see in the picture now?
70.
70%. Okay, good. Thanks.
It seemed bizarre. So were the colours like bright?
Yeah, most of it was sort of as coloured as I could get it. That one was light yellow, and that one's sort of pink.
And does it surprise you?
The first time it did, definitely.
because it was quite easy as well, so something I expected to sort of struggle with. It's forced to happen, but it's just sometimes I actually have to hold myself off and wait to be told to do it, otherwise it'll start happening anyway.
In and out of hypnosis, Pelham said he saw a lot of colour in a black and white picture. This is consistent with the idea that trance is pretty much irrelevant and you can achieve almost the same results without it.
Quite a lot of activity going on, not only in the back of the brain, but also...
Irving then wanted to see what was happening in the brains of Pelham and those like him, comparing them under hypnosis and then without it. Now, when did you get these results?
I saw them yesterday morning, and I'm still excited about them. They're not what I expected. Parts of them are. Parts of them are absolutely not, and I'm as happy about the parts that I was not expecting as I am about the parts that I was expecting.
It's often the case in science.
Yeah.
Okay, show me.
Okay.
First, Irving took me through what someone's brain looks like when they're being shown an image in colour for real. An area called the visual cortex lights up. Okay, so this is no suggestion, no hypnosis. This is just the way the brain looks when it's seeing colour. Great, got it.
That's exactly right. Okay, here is a composite image of the brains of people who are adding colour under hypnosis. And what you'll see is that there's this area that's lit up, this area of increased activation.
Within the same area that we saw before?
That's right.
That is involved in seeing colour?
In seeing colour, yes.
Okay, so this person isn't seeing any colour whatsoever.
No.
But the area involved in...
Experientially, is they're not being shown any colour, but the area involved in perceiving colour that's lit up.
So, under hypnosis, part of the visual cortex involved in perceiving colour is active. This suggests that Pelham was somehow really seeing colour. Then we looked at the brain responding to suggestion alone.
Now here is a composite picture of the brain of the 6 people when they were not hypnotized. They're asked to add color. They're not hypnotized.
There's no color area.
There's no color area being lit. There's some other things being lit, but not in the parts of the brain that actually respond to seeing color.
This did surprise Irving. What was going on in the brain under hypnosis appeared to be different from suggestion alone.
Since what they say is so similar under both conditions, I expected it to be what's happening in their brain to be very similar as well. Maybe a little less without hypnosis than with hypnosis, but not the degree of difference that we're getting. That to me is a surprise. I love it.
But they reported seeing colour almost the same as when they were hypnotised.
Right. Isn't that exciting?
That's amazing. And what's going on up here? Why is all the other stuff being
That's a good question. One of the possibilities, one of the things that's consistent with, is that here they might be imagining colour as opposed to actually seeing it.
They're really thinking.
They're really thinking.
They're having to remember, imagine.
That's exactly right. That's what's being suggested. Now, we've only run 6 subjects. We've got to run maybe another 18 subjects, something like that, in order to really be able to say this conclusively. But already what you're looking at, they're meaningful results.
Irving still needs to do more tests. But if the results are repeated, it would suggest that although you can achieve almost the same experience using suggestion alone, trance is doing something. This really made me want to find out what on earth trance is. So I went to see a neuroscientist with a dark past. Now an associate professor of psychiatry, Amir Raz had also trained as a magician. You're a scientist as well as a magician.
Yeah, it depends who you ask. Some people will tell you that I'm the best magician among the scientists, and some people will tell you, that it's the other way around. But I am trying to bring these two things together.
His unusual perspective has led him to a particular view on hypnosis. For Amir, it's all to do with what happens in our brain when someone is trying to focus our attention.
Sometimes I'll go quickly, and sometimes I'll go very slowly. Okay, and your job is just to tell me what the balls are. Fair enough? Okay. Here we go. Where are the balls?
1 in each.
1 in each. Okay, and you can bet your money on it, right? It's very simple to do, right? Where are the balls?
I think they're both in there.
Okay, but You were right. You were right. You were thinking about something.
There was.
Let's try it again. So look, I take my hand down. So you're looking at it. I open. You have the element of surprise, and I throw the ball at the same time out of your line of vision. That's the magic trick. But actually, it's not a trick at all. There's nothing to it. Even if you know the technique, I'm just counting on your brain, not registering things at the right time. They're all there, you know, on the floor.
They're all over there. According to Amir, what happens under hypnosis is that your brain goes into a state of highly focused attention. You could call it a trance, but he thinks science hasn't really yet defined the term, and so it's just not helpful to use it.
You see, attention and hypnosis, I mean, literally are the same thing, and the way to think about it is hypnosis really is a misnomer. The word hypnosis is very confusing. Hypnosis, relates to hypnos, which is in Greek mythology, has to do with sleep. But hypnosis, the way we talk about it, has nothing to do with sleep. It has to do with attention. It's an attentional manipulation. We know that with attention, you can actually influence cognitive processes, emotional processes, thought, and action.
So as a scientist, hypnotism isn't very surprising?
As a scientist, hypnosis is fascinating.
Then Amir made me an offer that I found myself accepting. How about me trying hypnosis? But would I be able to let go?
If you try too hard, you need to revise, okay? You need to let go, and don't try too hard. Let things happen off their own, okay? And I'll try to help you.
So play, relax, don't try too hard and go to a place maybe that I haven't been to before internally.
And enjoy it.
That's nice.
And enjoy it, yeah.
Right.
Oh, it's very nice. It's very nice. And I'd like you to allow yourself to lose a little bit of control while you're in control. That's possible to do. Everything is being peeled off. Float down like a feather.
What then happened was a long and gentle process of getting me to become deeply relaxed. We can't show you the whole session because broadcasters aren't allowed to.
And once you get there, just let me know that you're there by gently raising your index finger on your left hand. Good. I'm going to the kitchen. I'm taking out a lemon, one yellow lemon, one green lime. Feel it with your mouth, feel it with your mind. And the balloon is getting bigger, pushing your hands to the side. The right arm is very, very heavy, and it's like a branch of a tree. It is a very rigid arm. I'd like you to pay attention to a mosquito. I think it might want to have a little taste of your shoulder there. I'd like for you to remember the following cards. However, it might be difficult for you to remember these cards until I tell you, Kathy, now you can remember these cards very clearly.
After an hour of listening to Amir's suggestions, I was brought around.
Everything is beginning to be more and more crisp and normal. Common wakefulness is about to commence. 3 to 2, 2 to 1, and we're back in the real world. And you can open your eyes when you're ready and sit up and yawn and stretch and do all the things that you've been wanting to do for a while. Good morning.
Hi there.
Good. Was there anything in particular that you'd like to share?
Well, it felt delicious to be relaxing, and I love the, falling into a warm place in fluid and supported the cloud. Really relaxing. But, and a part of me feels like, well, I didn't really taste any lemon or lime, and I was trying, well, I'm just a bit disappointed that I'm not a bit more imaginative.
Mm-hmm.
I was trying to
Did you
imagine,
have some kind of an innate resistance?
I think I'm quite, I can be quite bloody-minded,
Mm-hmm.
and there's a bit of me, like when you told me, here are the cards, and you're not going to be able to remember them until I tell you. Well, I thought, damn you, no, I'm going to remember them, regardless. So there is a bit of me that just doesn't want